What is going on in 2025 with Taylor Swift? I thought first it was the album, now it's jewelry. This necklace controversy is crazy because if you look at the picture, it does look like if you line the two lightning bolts and you look back at the Yahtzee symbolisms of lightning bolts, it does look like you can't unsee it. You can't unsee it. You can't deny it. First, the album with this again, am I giving her too much grace even thinking about it? I think I'm still giving her grace. I still want to hold off. I don't even know why I want to hold off. I'm not, trust me, I'm not even Swifty. I'm not a Swifty. I never thought that Taylor Swift was super great as everybody else thought as, but this is the same girl who voted for Harris. No? And a feminist. Does she even know what's going on? Is the team just disconnected? Is the team infiltrated? I need to know. So, what do y'all think? I'm going to ask some questions. I got some takes of different creators. We're going to run through and check them out ourselves. You know what it is. If you mind the pauses, look in the description below for the links towards the original video. Support those creators. Then come right back here so we can break it down together. Because I am so lost in this timeline. I know this timeline is crazy and the media is slick. You can't see Opalite, Onyx Night. Still think about those two lyrics. You can't unsee it and you can't unhear it. You know? And if you're a man, and if you're an individual of critical thought, immense awareness, you can't unsee it. Let's go through it together, yo.
Hey, Taylor Swift's new necklace that they just dropped on their website,
right.
The one that's got literal lightning bolts and an 8-point star on it. I didn't know she was queen of the Easter eggs. I didn't know that we were supposed to be doing the dog whistle thing for her content.
Right.
Everything I've learned about Taylor Swift and her fans have been against my will, but apparently they are like rabid crickets.
Guy is funny.
Bunch of like hidden messages.
Jax is funny.
And stuff that you were supposed to find to see what was going to drop or, features on the album or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that whole thing was AI. She used generative AI, or her team did, to pump those Easter eggs that were supposed to look deeper for. So the people quite literally telling me it's not that deep, bro. Other people who are looking for this stuff specifically are going, yes, thank you, Taylor. PR team, people are quite literally calling Taylor a white supremacist. I don't think we should drop the dog whistle.
It's gotta be like, what's going on with the Yeah, I'm like, is she in on this?
Taylor Swift Nazi necklace controversy shows exactly why DEI is a necessary investment for anyone wanting to keep a liberal or left-leaning fan base, especially during this time. If I was the DEI person reviewing Taylor's merch line, I would have told them, hey, you know how Taylor hates being called boring, Barbie?
If you're a marketer and you're smart, you know analytics, making great analysis, you understand that there's various fan base, various demographic in the fan base. Left-leaning liberals, right-wing MAGAs. Are they going full in for the right-wing MAGA? Is this a brand change? What is going on?
How do you think she'll like being called Arian, Barbie?
Ugh.
Because this fuck-ass necklace looks like costume.
Look at it. Look at it. You can't unsee it. You can't unsee it. You can't unsee it. I'm sorry. You can't unsee it. You cannot unsee it. You cannot unsee it. The 6, if you put the line and line together, you just can't see it. Ugh, what's going on?
Jewelry for a Nazi princess playset. When I worked in corporate DEI and people asked me what I did, I would say I tell people how racist sensitive they are, because that was the job. And I was good at it. I was very meticulous. I would tell people what was problematic, how it was problematic, to whom it was problematic, like which demographics, and exactly the level of anger that they could expect from those groups, how much it would impact the project or the consumer base overall. And then I would offer solutions on how to fix it.
I like that. Taylor Swift needs DEI. Yeah, this is diversity, equity, inclusion. This is what happens. You just ripped out. It's got to be intentional at this point because the team has, once you remove DEI, people who can actually help you when it comes to marketing, making sure you resonate with the audience, this is what happens. I mean, if you remove people that represent different ethnic backgrounds and you only have apparently this type of people putting dog whistles and freaking subliminal messages, like, what? This is crazy. This is something that reminds me of the whole Jeans, the whole situation Jeans with Sydney Sweeney, Sydney Sweeney, like, The authentic genes.
The song lyrics that didn't point to Nazi symbolism. It's kind of funny that the job I used to do in corporate DEI was literally meant to prevent people from becoming the topic of the content that I make now.
But you should know this. You don't know this. You don't know. Like, you don't care about your people like that. You don't care about your base. You don't care about your image like that. I would just be so. Even if I have a team helping me with my brand, I'll still make sure that I oversee. I have some sort of oversight to make sure they're not putting out BS that put me in controversy. That will label me the antithesis of everything I represented. What is going on? And the reason why I chose this picture, because it shows the fact that this picture, the fact that this necklace is on what seems to be a black woman. I show you how deep it's all infecting a lot of people from different backgrounds. How the imagery is so important. How slick they are too, to make it seem like it's normal. Come on. She's a black woman. She's wearing it. If it meant the way you think it meant, why would she wear it? I'm telling you, bro. This shit is deep.
Taylor Swift is gaslighting you. Let's talk about it. Taylor Swift and her minions are desperate into gaslighting you into not believing what you are hearing and seeing from her album, from her press tour, from her merch. But we're going to apply the rules of statutory interpretation to get to the bottom of this. The question we intend to answer today, folks, is whether or not Taylor Swift intended to be anti-black and like anti-Semitic and trad wifey on her album, or was it all just a pure coincidence? Statutory interpretation is the process by which courts apply statutory law to specific legal cases. And sometimes that law can be like confusing or contradictory, or
That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, is it her? Is it her team? But I mean, it would be her because she's responsible. She's the leader of the team, so she should be responsible. Crazy work.
ambiguous, and so you have to use certain like interpretive tools to decide what the statute or law actually meant. And there are two main schools of thought, right? There's textualism and there's purposivism. Textualism tells you to like look at the plain meaning of the text, the actual words, and avoid all of the context around it. It's like a fundamentally very conservative way to interpret text. Justice Scalia really loved it. The point here is like, what was the actual language of the statute? Or here, what was the actual language of the song? This is one of those ways that like Republicans and conservatives justified slavery, right? Like, it's fine, the law says it's okay. Purposivism is more of like a scavenger hunt. Instead of just looking at the plain meaning of the text, here you're looking at context, right? Public policy, social context, what was going on in the world, to decide what the author of the statute or the law really intended. So when we apply to Taylor Swift, what we're looking at is like the social context. What is the world doing? What did Taylor Swift actually mean? What did she intend? It goes beyond just the words themselves. Back to Taylor and this album, and like a total capitalist shakedown, she decided to promulgate all of this stupid merch to have her fans like spend every single dollar they had to fund her lifestyle or something, right? And some of the stuff we're seeing is that hideous mint green fur coat and that weird hat that says something about protect the family, and the piece de resistance, that hideous, disgusting, dog whistly, weird necklace with all the lightning bolts. So we apply the tools of statutory interpretation and start with textualism, looking at the necklace, then like maybe things seem okay, right? Like a lightning bolt is a lightning bolt, I guess, right? It's just like this electrical discharge from the sky that we all see, that we think is pretty. And sure, people make jewelry with lightning bolts all the time.
Right.
And so if you look at it from a textualist standpoint, I guess it's not that serious, which is totally in line with the way conservatives see things. But if we move to purposivism, like that's when things get weird, right? This statutory tool asks you to consider what Taylor Swift actually intended with the lightning bolt necklace. What was the context around her kind of producing this merch item? What did her album say? How are people reacting to it? How did all of these decisions stack up? And then you can divine, what did Taylor actually mean by all of this? Here, your girl Taylor wrote an album absolutely replete with like dog whistles and microaggressions, right? Like you couldn't get away from it. It was like definitely anti-black, very red-pilled, very trad right-centric. So the idea of this context with the lightning bolts is suspicious. Even if Taylor didn't...
Yeah, you can't help but make that connection, especially when what she was referring to, if she was referring to Meg Thee Stallion and Kayla Nicole, and that slick undertone jealousy, the open onyx night opal light, like you can't you have no choice. Then when you look at the fucking necklace and you look at the picture of the actual lightning bolts of Yahtzee, what they represent, and you line up the necklace together, you can't unsee it. You have no choice. But that's a failure in the marketing team's part, man. And they really think people are stupid.
intend these like horrendous 1940 vibes, she certainly hasn't rebuked them. Like, where is Taylor out on the scene saying, "Oh no, I didn't mean any of this like racist stuff"?
Right. That she hasn't even come out. Anybody else accusing me of Yahtzees or some shit, I'm going out there like, bro, what the fuck is I don't play that shit. I'll be like out there saying, what the fuck? I ain't no Yahtzee. She not saying nothing. Maybe it's her team. Or maybe they really are using this to their advantage to make more money. They don't even care. They maybe know that there's two sides and this demographic is both sides exist now. You know, the left and leaning and the right leaning. So they just like play both. They probably think on some shit like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Let them react. More money in your pocket. Makes her even worse. Because while the left, the people who feel destructive about this is so fucked up. Because while the people who feel so harmed by this rhetoric, by this coming off the album, the symbolism coming off the necklace, there's going to be the other side that's going to say, you know what, fuck you. We don't give a fuck. We're going to buy even more just to shut you up, to show you that this is nothing, you guys, this is not that serious, it's not real. Right? She probably playing both. She probably playing both sides. The team. I don't like negative connotation. I don't like putting a negative light on billionaires like that because, you know, I know there's some good billionaires out there. There's got to be anyway. But this is why they have a negative aspect, a negative look on billionaires, because the decisions they make to make the money.
I love Black people. It's nowhere to be seen. And if we continue to use this rule of statutory interpretation, like zoom out, what is the broader social context in which
because her team could be in here saying, man, you're not gonna win anyway. They're gonna hate you even more, so don't say nothing.
Right, we're in an authoritarian state. Everything is really scary, and still she's remained silent, and she's promulgated this necklace with lightning bolts and hasn't said anything. So all of that suggests that she did mean something with it. At the end of the day, Taylor Swift is not some like random indie music artist with very limited media literacy, right? Like, she has teams upon teams of people to review her decisions at every level, right? PR people, branding people, lawyers, like it runs the gamut. And everyone said it was okay. And Taylor signed off on it, which means that she made choices that kind of suggest intent. And the intent here feels obvious. So now we know Taylor Swift either intended all of these microaggressions or dog whistles, or she was aware of them and has decided not to do anything about it because she wants to make a buck at the end of the day. And that makes her a bad person. And again, if you're still listening to her and you're still fighting with me in my comments and like not listening to Black women and not listening to people who are on the adverse side of her microaggressions, like block me and like, I don't know, go read a book and see a therapist.
I wasn't even going to make a video about Taylor Swift's album because I just truly don't care, but I have seen the lyrics and I've heard snippets of it. And I keep seeing responses like this to all the reactions to the album from people saying that it's like full of MAGA dog whistles and that it's low-key anti-Black. People keep responding like this to it and basically saying that those kind of critiques are turning them off from like being a leftist. It's like, you were never a leftist to begin with.
Right.
Like, prioritizing white joy over everybody else's comfort is the status quo. White joy is not rare. It's not difficult to come by. It's not unique in any way. Like, it's not under threat.
Right.
So you claiming that people are taking your joy by critiquing an album that a billionaire put out is so fucking absurd. Like, that's what really bothers me about like the cult of Taylor Swift and her fans especially, is that like she has somehow become an avatar for like all white women and the issues that they face. But like everyone who's not white then turns around and is like, but she still comes from a place of privilege, especially as a billionaire.
This, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of us, like Black folks, Black people having to, and this is, I guess, this timeline or the signs of the time where this is up to white people or white women having to let go of people who represent them. When Black folks for us was like, we did it with R. Kelly, Bill Cosby. This is just a extra thought. R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, OJ, you know, like when we had prominent figures that represent, but we feel like represent a community of demographic of people, but when the moment they did wrong, what did we do, right? But it goes to show you how, oh my gosh, it goes to show you how in the light of, when it comes to the community, when it deals with white people, white community, they are quick to show grace and be hesitant and not quick to just call their own, to hold them accountable. I mean, we don't even talk about, you know, who. But I think this is no different. And it's just, anyway, what is going on in 2025? We have to move forward. And if we have to move forward, we have to be willing to go. This is reckless. She has too much resources to be coming up with these things, to allow these things to be happening. Crazy. And it all started with this damn album, man. I don't know what's going on. This timeline is kind of weird, but you can't unsee it. And you have to speak on it, or you have to come out and talk about it. Or, you know what? Just keep quiet and see what happens. I think it's going to get a lot more people angry. And we can't allow these moments. We can't allow them. You can't allow people like that to have all these resources, all this money made from us supporting, and you just play in front of our faces like that. And if we're wrong, you come out and speak on it and say, hey, this is how we're wrong. This is what's going on. This was the intent behind it. Because again, it's the people that made you. Yeah, you have your group of people that's always going to be, may not know any better, and they're going to support you no matter what. But anyway, I want to know what y'all think. Do you see it? Do you think it's real? I didn't think I was going to do another video about Taylor Swift, but you know what? I'm here to talk to y'all. Let me know. This is just thoughts I have, and this whole channel is about. Let's have this conversation, break things down, react to what's going on with facts and actual honest opinions, balancing logic and empathy. Okay? Comment below. I want to know your thoughts. Like and subscribe. It goes a long way for me. I would appreciate it. I want to show up for you more. See you on the next video.